England এখন currently like what changes is happening in the world of accountancy?
Not just success, I would say happiness and contentment. These are also not place specifics.
Right.
These come from what you are passionate about and how you surround yourself.
So you're saying your enjoyment wasn't there and that's why you shifted to CA. Actually হ্যাঁ যেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের বাংলাদেশের একটা পার্সপেক্টিভ আছে বাঙালিদের মেইনলি যে বাইরে গেলে লাইফ would have been rosy and stuff, but generally it's not the case. It's struggling, but yeah, standard of living is definitely better. সেটা
And I blame the pandemic, the coronavirus as well for it.
করোনা লেগে কি মানুষ মোটা হয়েছে?
Sometimes people or some of my friends from the past they ridicule me like, so you were very good in that part of integration and you could solve it or you could prove it. So how is that helping you now?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This episode is a bit different from what we used to do. আমি বেসিক্যালি সব ACC এদেরকে আনি, মানে অন্যান্য গেস্ট তো আনি, বাট যখন অ্যাকাউন্টেন্সির কথা আসে তখন অবভিয়াসলি আই ফোকাস অন অল দি চার্টার্ড সার্টিফাইড অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস. But this guy, Mr. Tabib, my friend from school, he pursued not ACCA but ICAEW. And interesting fact হচ্ছে আমি ওর ইন্ট্রোডাকশন আমি দিই, এটার কারণ আছে, কারণ ওর নামটা হচ্ছে তাবিব, কিন্তু মেসেঞ্জারে দেখছি নাম হচ্ছে স্যাম তাবিব. ভাই, why স্যাম তাবিব?
Thank you for having me, Fahim. Ashole, the reason is very simple. Our full name Samiu Tabib. So Samiu in the UK, everyone calls you by your first name, so Samiu. So, but they get it wrong when they try to say Samiu. They say Samui and various other formats that you can imagine. So I just shortened it to Sam. So it's no different to how you say Chris for Christopher or John for Jonathan. It's just a shortened version.
আমার একটা চিকেন খাইতাম, নাম হচ্ছে স্যামস চিকেন, ওগুলা থেকে মারস নাই তো?
Nah. Sam can also be for both males and females. So Sam can be short for Samantha. So it's just the convention.
Anyone in your history by the name Samantha?
Yes, my cousin.
Oh, not
she,
history.
No, she also actually has a nickname, but then her first name is Samantha. So
I see.
You have the same problem. Whereas in Bangladesh, you have a first name that nobody really calls you by. It's different because everyone calls you Fahim, but you will know from knowing others they don't call you by your first name,
right,
which is weird, but that's how it is.
আমি মিস্টার স্যাম ওর একটা ইন্টারেস্টিং একটা ফ্যাক্ট আমি ধরি, সেটা হচ্ছে হি ইজ নট আ গ্র্যাজুয়েট ফ্রম অ্যাকাউন্টিং. Yeah, he pursued CA, but he's not a graduate from accounting. He graduated in Bath University.
Graduated from Bath University.
And the subject is engineering. Bhai, why?
Well, when I was a kid, I loved motor racing, Formula One, go-karting, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
The days in Australia. And it made me pursue a degree in mechanical engineering.
গাড়ি অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট করছিল তারপর?
হ্যাঁ. So, but you think something and then when you go through it, it's not really the same. So I just did not enjoy the degree or the field engineering, and I also did a year in industry while I was doing my undergrad. So I just didn't want to continue with engineering.
So you're saying your enjoyment wasn't there, and that's why you shifted to CA?
No, that was the first reason. If you're not enjoying something, then you have to take a step back and say, look, I can't go with this any further. So what can I do? And then you have to look back or think harder within yourself as to what is it that you enjoy, what is it that you are good at, or what is it that you see yourself moving forward with. So in my case, from my O&A levels, I was good in accounting and I actually enjoyed it as well. But obviously my passion for motorsports led me towards engineering. So I just went back to my kind of initial stance, and therefore I went towards accountancy.
Excellent. So it's just passion that drives you.
Yes, and I think everyone should really have a deep think about what they're doing,
right?
And are you doing it because your family wants it or are you doing it because the society wants it, or are you doing it because you actually want it, but you're not really good at it, or you don't enjoy it? There's a there's a difference. You can want to be like, in my case, I wanted to go into motorsports,
right,
but I just didn't enjoy the science, the studies behind what I wanted to pursue.
আচ্ছা, makes sense. So very interesting story, guys, very interesting. But এখানে আরেকটা কিছু ফ্যাক্টর আছে, সেটা হচ্ছে like most of us Bengalis, when we went there to study, we came back. You stayed there, you stayed behind. What made you stay behind? I mean,
to break even. First thing was to break even. When I did my undergrad, it cost well over £50,000, and I did not earn anything to actually break even that cost. So in my head, I wanted to make sure that I do something there so I can bring back the money, the return that I spent in my studies. And then it just I kept on going.
Are you enjoying the life there?
Well, I'm living here now for a change.
For a few months.
For a few months, yes. But it has its pros and cons. So I'm not going to lie, it's not very rosy. And some people say, oh, dream place London. You stayed in London. Our সবাই portray করে London is like that dream place to be. It's the happening place to be. But that's a very temporary thing. That's not a long-term thing, unless you see your life to be based around say whatever you enjoy outside of your core studies or profession.
True. আসলে হ্যাঁ, যেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের বাংলাদেশের একটা পার্সপেক্টিভ আছে বাঙালিদের মেইনলি, যে বাইরে গেলেই লাইফ উড হ্যাভ বিন রোজি এন্ড স্টাফ, বাট জেনারেলি ইটস নট দ্য কেস, ইটস স্ট্রাগলিং, বাট ইয়া, স্ট্যান্ডার্ড অফ লিভিং ইজ ডেফিনেটলি বেটার, সেটা লন্ডন হোক অর ইউ গো টু সিডনি অর মেলবোর্ন অর ইভেন টরন্টো ফর এক্সাম্পল, but obviously it's challenging there, তাই না? সবকিছু সব জায়গায় it's a challenge. So I think success doesn't come from the country. No. It's you within yourself.
Yes. And not just success, I would say happiness and contentment. These are also not place specifics.
Right.
These come from what you are passionate about and how you surround yourself.
Absolutely. Right. On the different side of thinking, আসলে খুব বেশি ইমোশনাল হতেছে না সিরিয়াস হচ্ছে জানি না, বাট একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আমার ছিল, মানে I knew Tabib when he was very চিকন, কিন্তু তাবিব এখন ট্রিপল দ্য সাইজ. Is it because accountancy? Is it because you eat a lot? Or is it the doner kebab that is hitting you a lot?
Maybe a combination of all those things. And I blame the pandemic, the coronavirus as well for it.
করোনা লেগে কি মানুষ মোটা হয়েছে?
করোনার সময় lifestyle changed. People's lifestyle changed, and so did mine. So I spend more time at home and more time not doing much.
Eat chicken and chips?
And eating a lot. So yes, and there was no going back. And now I feel like it's just a bit too late, but I will go back, inshallah.
Are you planning to?
Yes.
By doing what? Sleeping? So why am I saying that? But even I am double. But anyway.
Nah. I think you compared to me, I think you look very chicken now.
Oh, আচ্ছা. I take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে এটার জন্য কি তুই কিছু করবি না, নাকি অ্যাকাউন্টেন্সি নিয়ে থাকবি, ডেবিট ইকুয়ালস টু ক্রেডিট?
না, এটা করব ইনশাআল্লাহ।
আচ্ছা, অ্যাকাউন্টেন্সি ওয়ার্ল্ড কিন্তু বাংলাদেশেও চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে, সব জায়গায় তো অবভিয়াসলি চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে উইথ দ্য সফটওয়্যার এন্ড স্টাফ। ইংল্যান্ডে এখন কারেন্টলি লাইক হোয়াট changes is happening in the world of accountancy?
Accountancy এখন যেমন বললি আর কি, যে you actually have a lot of reliance on software, and in recent years AI as well. So that's shaping a lot of the future of accountancy in the UK. So এখন people are all about how to cut cost and achieve synergies. So if you have a function like say invoicing and billing and stuff, people might think that's a mundane task, and we don't want the people in the UK to do that. What they do is they just outsource it to India, in Chennai, in Bangladesh, wherever, in South Africa, Poland, do it cheap. Same with other companies that manufacture stuff, but in accountancies, it's happening the exact thing.
Right.
And they're actually spending more time what they think as the big thing, big meetings and doing multi-billion dollar deals and that sort of stuff. So the mundane task is out of the question.
Right. Makes sense. So এখন আমি যদি আমার স্টুডেন্টদের বলি, আসলে এই পেজটা তো বা the podcast I started is to teach the youths of our country. বাংলাদেশে কিন্তু একটা টেন্ডেন্সি থাকে to go for a lot of physics, chemistry and all this, মানে এই area of teaching or a area of learning at the same time. But whereas in your country, মানে যেখানে you are living in England, jobs কিন্তু enough আছে engineering এ নাকি accountancy-তে অনেক বেশি? Or economics, accounting is a good combination. Which
economics and accountancy are very good combinations. Engineering, you will always have jobs, but what we say, those are niche jobs, as in unique jobs for people who are passionate about engineering. If you are passionate about with tools and getting your hands dirty or designing within engineering, then you have a place there.
But in terms of demand,
there is always the demand for the right skill set.
Right.
But if you want to go into accountancy and economics, I would say the demand is actually much higher than in engineering in the UK.
Much higher in
accountancy,
yes. Than engineering.
Yes.
Exactly. Because আমাদের দেশে tendency কিন্তু ঠিক reverse. Like people are studying a lot of computer science engineering, a lot of mechanical and XYZ engineering, and আমি যদি দেখি আমাদের O levels and A levels, there are a lot of students who are taking physics and chemistry in opposed to accountancy or economics or even business, for example. But the situation or the overall factor কিন্তু পুরা কি বলবো reverse.
It's quite interesting because UK there, it's actually the reverse from the very onset. The government spends a lot of money trying to encourage people to go into engineering and science in the UK.
Right.
Whereas in Bangladesh, you see the opposite. Everyone goes to default engineering and science as the default.
আমি কিন্তু এটাই আমার স্টুডেন্টদের বলি, but obviously মানে I do not have any examples, and এখানে স্কুলগুলো খুব বেশি highly promote করে physics, chemistry, but isn't that creating the generational unemployment in the long run?
I mean, obviously you have the demand for physics and chemistry as well. So, but if you are, pushing people or the students towards just physics and chemistry because that's the norm, এটা কিন্তু অনেক আগে থেকে একটা প্রবলেম যে ম্যাথস নাও না হলে
কিছু হবে না,
না হলে কিছু হবে না. That's not the mindset that you should have. That's very detrimental.
মনে আছে আমাদের টিচার ছিল ম্যাথসের?
হ্যাঁ. So I cannot forget.
You cannot forget?
No.
সেটাই, ম্যাথস ছাড়া কিছুই হবে না. And if you're good at maths, তাহলে you are brilliant. If you're bad in maths, you are
তাহলে লাইফ শেষ. হ্যাঁ, but মানে a lot of the things like maths, you have Excel, you have calculators and everything. The stuff we did in O levels and A levels for maths, integration, differential equation, and double differentials, and all that sort of complex stuff. Tell you what, unless you're into an engineering field that specifically uses that topic, then that's just
bullshit.
That's just not going to be used by you in your life ever again. Sometimes people or some of my friends from the past, they ridicule me, like, so you were very good in that part of integration and you could solve it or you could prove it. So how is that helping you now? The thing is, like, it's I wish I did more things outside of maths and engineering as well. But obviously, the good thing about having or being good in maths is you have an analytical mind and you have a problem-solving mind, so you can apply your analytical skills into the real-life problems, and that helps you with interviews and your jobs.
True. I was never good in maths.
No, and here you are. successful man.
সাকসেসফুল হয়নি, আমি জাস্ট তোর ইন্টারভিউ করতেছি এটাই জানি। এখনো সাকসেসফুল হয়নি। বাট হ্যাঁ, এই স্টেরিওটাইপ আসলে এই ফ্যাক্টর গুলো, ইউ আর ব্রিলিয়ান্ট, ইউ আর নট ব্রিলিয়ান্ট, এগুলো আসলে স্টপ করতে হবে। এন্ড গ্রেডস রিয়েলি ডাজন্ট ডিফাইন মাচ। Of course, grade is important, but at the same time, it doesn't define everything. Right?
Yeah,
I think it's more about the passion and the skills that is important.
Just one example I will bring in, I have seen in the UK, যে আমার থেকে 2 years junior ছিল মেয়েটা, like if you think my example is strange, I went from engineering to accountancy, where she started 2 years later than me in Deloitte as well, and when I asked her, what did you do for your undergrad, and she said acting. So she did acting, you know, literally অ্যাক্টিং এর বাংলা কি, অভিনয়, মানে অভিনয়টাই একটা কোর্স সেই ইউকেতে গ্রাজুয়েশন হয়েছে। তারপরে she went through accountancy, then she did an MBA from Oxford University. Ooh. And now she's a CEO of a Lloyd's Pharma, which is a mid-sized, you know, a pharmaceutical company as well.
God.
And
such a great example.
So I'm just doing a desk job, you know. She's gone much higher up
because she has the social skill.
She has the social skills she has from the acting, you know. So and nothing to do with maths and analytical.
You know
skills.
my problem?
What?
Most of the teachers around me, they just don't understand it properly. আমাদের পুরা মানে মাইন্ডসেট, দ্য স্টেরিওটাইপ, এভরিথিং নিডস রিফরমেশন। এটা কিন্তু আমাদের বাংলা মিডিয়াম যে আমরা খালি বলি, বা ইউ নো দ্য লোকাল গভর্নমেন্টের যে কোর্সেস গুলি বলি, সেটার রিফরমেশন তো লাগবেই। বাট আমি কিন্তু মানে এই জন্য কখনো নিজেকে বলি না, আরে আমি ইংলিশ মিডিয়াম থেকে পড়ছি and I'm, you know, I know better. It's not the fact. No. It's not the fact at all. No. It's the skills that is the missing factor, তাই না? এই জিনিসটা কিন্তু আমরা কখনো লার্নিং করাই না। আমাদের স্কুলের একাডেমিক সেটিংও আমরা ঠিকমতো করাই না। হ্যাঁ, কিছু স্কুলস আর রিয়েলি ডুইং ইট, টু বি অনেস্ট। সাম স্কুলস আর প্ল্যানিং টু ইমপ্লিমেন্ট ইট, বাট ঠিকমতো এখনো করে না। বাট আমরা কিন্তু এখন বাইরে যে আমরা শিখছি যে এই স্কিলটাই কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি ল্যান্ডেড দ্য পারসন দ্যাট ইউ জাস্ট সেড, দ্য গার্ল হু ইজ আ সিইও নাও, ফর এক্সাম্পল। সো এটাই হচ্ছে আমাদের ফ্যাক্টর, এই চেঞ্জেস গুলো আমার করতে হবে।
Yes, agreed.
Exactly. So ডেস্ক জব করস, বোরিং লাগে না?
না, I mean
মানে মানুষ কিন্তু বলে অ্যাকাউন্টেন্সি অনেক বোরিং একটা লাইফ, মানে অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টদের।
হ্যাঁ, এটা বলে, এটা যারা বলে তারা they look at it from, you know, accountants, yes, boring. What do you do? I deal with spreadsheets, or I do tax affairs for a company. It's boring. But if you think about it, a lot of things can be said boring. Yeah.
True,
what
true.
is your idea of fascinating? What's your idea of fascinating?
True.
Is it to you know, jump off the cliff, like, you know, do go jumping, or falling off from the sky, you know, skydiving? Is that exciting? Is that what you're gonna do? So is the skydiving instructor, is his life the best life?
True. Very true.
Do you want to be a skydiving instructor because you will be, you know, jumping off with students from the plane every single day, you know, 10 times a day? Is that what you want to be? Ask yourself this question, and is that your idea of fascinating? So I think accountancy desk job, when I say desk job, I mean that the work I do is
behind the computer.
It's in the computer. You know, most of it, 80% of it is in the computer, and the rest is obviously communication and meetings with employees and
that is very important.
That's very important.
That's very important,
especially if you want to progress higher up. You have to be very good with communication.
Great. So very আমি বলবো একদম ক্লোজ করব very soon, but একটু UK লাইফ নিয়ে, do you think that students should go to England now and study for graduations or masters?
I think it's changed a lot since I went there. There were more opportunities there, and the costs were not as much. I mean, I saw only recently the course that I took from Bath University, the cost, the annual cost has more than doubled. Can you imagine? The pound to pound cost has more than doubled in less than 20 years. So if you think about doing 4 years of that, you really have to think hard. What am I going to do after that? Am I going to stay in the UK and do another
But it's
job?
not only UK, to be honest. It's Canada, America. They're all facing the same thing, inflation.
But at the end of the day, some people also go there with scholarships, and they will come back, or they will want to pursue higher studies and go into academics. So I don't think it's bad to go to a foreign country to experience life, and because it can teach you a lot of things that you
যেটা
will
আমাদের
not get in
বাংলাদেশে করে না।
Dhaka, living with your parents or living with family.
True, true.
Both good and bad.
Both good and bad. Makes sense, makes sense. Local চিকেনের দাম কত? I'm already feeling hungry by thinking about it.
Well, local chicken in the UK.
Yeah, yeah, of course. বাংলাদেশের কথা কে চিন্তা করতেছে এখন? চিকেন। আমি তো
আমি
খাই
আমি
চিকেন।
আসলে UK এর লাইফটা ভুলেই গেছি, কারণ আমি I've been here for some time now.
UK লাইফ ভুলে গেছিস?
ভুলে গেছি,
এই
as in I don't want
you
to
live there
remember
more
it.
than decade.
Yes, but I don't want to remember it. You know, it's like I want to suppress it, and I just want to enjoy
Oh
the flow.
man, he's born in UK. You're born in UK.
Nah, but no, it's the chicken is not the same. The chicken tastes better in Bangladesh, in Dhaka.
কি
I
কয়
like the
ভাই?
chicken here.
কি কয়? না ভাই, না না না
Yeah,
না
I
না
like
না,
it.
that's a debate. No,
No.
no. I completely disagree.
Well, you have your opinion and I have mine.
মানে এখানে কি মশলাওয়ালা চিকেন ভাল লাগে?
হ্যাঁ,
BFC ফ্রাইড চিকেন ভাল লাগে?
BFC fried chicken বলবো না, but এখানকার মশলা is better. এখানকার
আচ্ছা,
burger
হ্যাঁ,
is
true.
better than the
No
vanilla
way.
burger there.
কি
আমি
ভ্যানিলা বার্গার বলে?
ভ্যানিলা বার্গার বলতে বলে
I understand,
very
understand.
simple burger, ওখানকার
I
একটা
love
দুটা
that.
বান, একটা প্যাটি আর একটা
হ্যাঁ।
কি একটু সালাদ দিয়ে দিল, ওইটাই
আর
বার্গার
এখানে
হয়ে গেল।
কেচাপ
আর
দিয়ে মারলে
এখানকার
ভালো লাগে।
ম্যাট শেফের বার্গার, এখানকার যেসব বার্গার
হুম।
আমি খাইছি,
আমি তো ম্যাট শেফ কামড়
it's-
দিলে আমার কাছে কেমন জানি লাগে।
হ্যাঁ, আর আমার কাছে লাগে
Guys, go to Harfi. I still love Harfi. Harfi is
There you
awesome.
go.
It's close to England. Harfi or
Yeah.
England আসলে বিদেশি Harfi মানে বার্গার গুলা has less sauce.
And even I think even McDonald's and KFC, what they sell here is tailored to the countries and the regions that they
True,
sell.
true,
So
true,
it's not
true.
the same in the UK.
True,
The
true.
stuff they sell over there is, I mean, I wouldn't really eat.
মানে বেসিক্যালি ওর খাইতে খাইতে খেতে খেতে অভ্যস্ত হয়ে গেছে, ও মশলা এখানে
হ্যাঁ,
পায়
ভালো
না।
লাগে না।
এখানে মশলা পাইছে তো মশলার অনেক
আমার
দাম লাগছে।
ভাই মাছে ভাতে বাঙালি খুব ভালো লাগে।
মাছে ভাতে বাঙালি হওয়ার পর তো তুমি
হ্যাঁ।
ইংল্যান্ডে আটকায় গেছো।
আটকা পড়ে গেছি।
কেন?
But who knows?
But with
We'll-
your
we'll
caliber,
see
do you
what
know how
future
much job
holds.
you can get here?
I don't know. Tell me. You know, I'm taking আসলাম এই first. So tell me. আমি তো
No,
জানি
no,
না।
I'm pretty much sure if you have a good qualification, if you have a good, you have good experience, man. You have huge experience in accountancy world. With that, I can assure you, I don't know, around 4 or 5 lakh, probably. Or am I saying it less? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's not just also about the money. It's all the kind of culture as well. Like you talked about the UK, the work culture there. I haven't experienced the work culture here, but from what
Yeah, I know
remember,
what you're
like you have more respect there. You know, you
True,
don't have
true.
less of those
Bossing
social media
factor.
and everything. We don't, like, everyone calls each other by the first name, which is by itself may look disrespectful, but actually your boss has respect towards you and you have respect towards boss.
True, true.
You have bad apples everywhere, but
Yeah.
that's just the general. And you have a clear policies and lines where you can raise awareness, and
True.
if you're a victim, then you can actually,
I think Bangladesh, the culture of what do you call it, the work or even study, for example, is a lot of politicized. Because we talk a lot about other aspects while working as well. We're not much focused, and that's why এটা একটা যেটা আমি ইংল্যান্ডে দেখছি এরকম আসলে এত ডিসকাশন হয় না। হ্যাঁ, ডিসকাশন হয় maybe pubs and stuff, but that's different. But workplace actually it's very straightforward, very click the box and
yes,
stuff. Yeah,
I agree.
Very focused. Understandable. Any word of advice you want to tell to the audience at the end, if your wish?
I think the first advice I would say is have trust in Allah, and you should be passionate about what you do, but don't forget where you come from and your roots, because end of the day, it doesn't matter if you spend all day skydiving or if you spend all day behind the desk. End of the day, you will come back home tired, and you have to find those elements in life that makes you happy. Okay, so if you don't find those elements in life that make you happy, even if you come back home after the whole day spending skydiving, and I use that as an extreme example, you're not going to find peace, you're not going to be happy in your life.
So peace is the key, guys. Peace. No, মানে বাংলাদেশ থাকো ইংল্যান্ড থাকো, doesn't matter the peace. Absolutely, I completely agree. Well done. ভালো লাগছে.
Thank you.
So let's close this episode. Again, just to refresh the whole thing, he is a qualified chartered accountancy with ICAEW, a local England CA qualification, not our ACCA, which we pursue, but we're actually difference, কিন্তু it's almost the same. ঘুরে ফিরে. So all the chartered accountancy body হচ্ছে same কি বলবো same sort of study, same sort of standard. There's no differentiation. Local CAs we respect, UK CAs or all the CAs we are all the same. আমি believe করি আমার perception এ
It's a bit like
হ্যাঁ
Edexcel versus Cambridge, all that
exactly
sort of
exactly
different
এটা
syllabus.
আসলে বলার
Yeah.
কারণ হচ্ছে কি বাংলাদেশে ওই যে এই প্রবলেমটা মানুষের ইগো বা ওই ফ্যাক্টর এই লোকাল সি ডিমান্ড বেশি আর অনেক এসিসি বলবো এসিসি আমরা বেশি জানি আসলে বেশি কম জানা ফ্যাক্টর না because if you watch the full episode today you will understand it's the passion, the skill, এই দুইটা হচ্ছে more important, and definitely the qualification at your back can help you towards that as well. So thank you very much Sam. Tabib বললাম না Sam, thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Hopefully see you again inshallah.
Yes.
And thank you guys for watching the episode. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.